Welcome to the Philosophy of Chillin. As you can tell, we're in a different setting, and there's more people joining me today. And I want to definitely pay a particular spotlight on who they are, what they do. So let me go ahead and pass it to you. Can you inform the team of who you are?
Okay, so is it on? Okay. All right, so you all have seen me a couple times by now. If you don't remember, my name is Petro. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, philosopher, philanthropist, neighborhood hero, whatever you want to call it.
For real.
Yeah, a man by many talents and many names. So that's the best description I can give you all for this episode.
Mm-hmm. And to my right, we have a young man, very up and coming. Can you please describe what you do and who you are to the people?
To the people, I'll be known as a few things, but I'll introduce myself.
I mean, come on now, we just chilling.
But I'll introduce myself as Solo Rico for now.
Solo.
But on a serious note, like I do a few things. Like there are a lot of things I have in the work. Real estate is one that's probably at the forefront, the one that I'm most focused on. But I am an aspiring entrepreneur outside of that. Modeling, yeah. I don't even though like I look at stuff like that as hobbies, but yeah, like modeling, acting, the pursuance, renowned fat speaker. You feel me? Upcoming philanthropist. You know, so.
All those things. Yeah. All those
I
things.
didn't even mention it, but
Nah. I mean, they gonna see that already though, because the bucket was doing some things, but that's gonna be a whole show within itself.
Big things.
With that being said, can you please reintroduce yourself?
I am Catherine Clark. Hello, people of the world. Nice to see you again.
This is Catherine Clark.
What do I do? What don't I do? Is the real question. I do a lot of shenanigans.
Still gems.
Multidisciplinary creative. If it's performing arts or creative tendencies, I'm gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna do it. This is my fashion journal that he is picking up. I'm almost done with my fashion certification, y'all. I'll finish at the end of May. I was supposed to finish in November, but I finished it in 6 months. So fuck what you heard. All right. Yeah. And that's me.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
We should be having a great conversation today. And I know I haven't told anybody the actual title, theme, motif of whatever we're talking about. So let me go ahead and let y'all know what it is now.
All right.
We'll be talking about support. So although we will be talking about that overarching topic of support, I know for a fact we're definitely going to dive into different aspects of it, the experience of what you receive and things of that sort. But I first wanted to kick it off and basically ask the question, how does one, or how do you handle different styles or versions of support that you have experienced?
One more time for the people in the back.
How have you handled different styles or versions of support that you have experienced?
I think if I see something is within your pattern of how you support people, then I'm just gonna like assume or place that that is all it is that you can give. And then I meet you where you're at. That's how I handle different styles of support from different people.
So, are you able to label those different styles of support or the things that you have experienced as like different types or versions of it?
I know people are indifferent about like support with social media, right? Like if you see someone that you're close to and they're doing something and you don't repost it, or it's really mainly reposting it. And let's say you comment on it and you'll like the picture and you'll send it to other people, or when you're out in public you tell people about them and things and such like that, but because they don't see your version of support, they think you're not supporting them.
Mm.
And sometimes it can always go back to a basis of miscommunication, because someone could not feel supported even though you feel like you're supporting them, and vice versa. But if you don't say anything, then it'll just keep going on with, the feelings or the styles of, this is where it is that you can this is what you can give to me in your style of support. You don't repost me, even though that shouldn't be important to people on social media. But I understand that it is important to people on social media. So with me, if you let me know that, then that is what it is that I'll give to you, because different strokes for different folks. Different people need different styles of support. Everybody can't take the same style of support from me either.
Mm.
Gentlemen?
For sure.
Well, yeah, I think I was pretty much hitting it on the nail. Like, generally speaking, like addressing much of like how support goes. On the lamest terms, I feel like it's subjective, right? You feel me? Like, you were saying, Kat, like a lot of it is comes down to like perspective for real, like, and what you view to be as support. And honestly, like for me personally, I feel like I have like a great support foundation, but just because I have a great support foundation doesn't mean they support me in all the areas that I need to be supported in. If you get what I'm saying? Like they support you in the way, like sometimes people support you in the way they feel like will keep you developing or safe enough to grow and develop in a way where it's like, okay, this is good. Like you gonna end up a good person, or you gonna end up this, or you gonna end up that. But it's like I said, it's subjective. You feel me? Because it's like if somebody want, like me personally, like let's say like I said, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't got nobody in my family who really like moving like that. So it's like folks not supporting me in that aspect. You feel me? Like I'm the only one pursuing that journey. Like ain't nobody else doing this, checking in, blase it is like whatever I view as support in that area, ain't nobody doing that. You feel me? But I don't fault them either. You feel me? Because it's like people support you how they support you. So
Mm. No, that's real. Do you have anything to say on that point?
I feel like you all explained it pretty well.
Yeah.
I can add, but I feel like it'd just be a reiteration of what they've already said, just what I've seen in my experience, pretty much.
Yeah. That was pretty much the same for me too. So I was gonna move on to a question that Nakeem actually brought up a little bit. And Catherine, you did too, because I know communication was mentioned on your side. And I guess I would ask to that, like, how do you how have you seen the development of your communication in regards to what you are able to acknowledge what you actually need? Does that make sense?
How am I able?
Like from the time that you were, let's say, 15,
Mhm.
how have you seen yourself grow in how you communicate what you need in terms of support from other people?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
very detailed.
Yeah.
I think that before I would have just seen something that I don't vibe with, and then giving it a lot of chances to be better. I'll say what it is that I need, and then if you're not doing it, I won't say what it is that I need anymore. You really only had to give me one time to show me that you aren't able to give me what it is that I am asking you for.
That's fair.
And then if there was no conversation in the compromise of it or why you could not, but you can give this, nowhere up in there, then I'll probably just kick you off the face of my earth and you'll never ever hear from me ever again. Now I still do that. I still do the last part, but it's more mature in a way of like now that
The discernment.
yes, now that I'm in my 20s, it's more of like I could just not say anything to you and you would never hear from me again and wonder why you had me fucked up. But I also can just have a conversation with you. And then if you don't choose to understand my perspective, even if you don't agree with it, and you're still just like, blah, blah, then I don't care where the fuck you go after that because I said what the fuck I said. So you can take what you doing somewhere else. So yeah.
I think everybody is wondering what blah blah blah.
Is that how you're perceiving what these people are saying?
Yeah, but only if they're like if I'm saying to you, this is something it is that there's something you did, and this is how it made me feel. Even if those weren't your intentions, this is how it made me feel, and you're like, okay, well that sounds personal, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay.
You know what that remind me of? You ever
Hotel
see?
Transylvania.
Yeah. With the vampires like blah blah blah.
I feel like he was saying it in the same way. So that's I think how my communication has evolved in a way of me saying what it is that I want versus what it is I wanted then versus how I communicate what it is I want now.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think there are people that could definitely relate to that for sure. So,
but they're older than me. Well, not that much older, but y'all are older than me. So how has your form of communication transformed versus when you were in high school? Because y'all got out of high school before we did.
A year.
Yeah, a year is a lot.
A year.
No, wait.
So
I can't lie. She was painting the picture like
I did.
Y'all came out like 4 years before us.
Because run that shit back. I said not that much farther, not that much older. But still, a lot can happen to you in 365 days. I don't know. I was the same bitch I was in January.
That's true. I guess for me, what happened?
I said I wasn't the same bitch, and then I said queen, goddess. I wasn't the same woman as I was. Let me not call myself a bitch.
For sure.
I'm glad you all was able to hear that. So yeah, I would say my communication has changed a lot in me learning how to communicate to different people because I had to realize like you can't talk to everybody the same. Like you can try to, but like everybody don't perceive things the same way, so you can't try to talk to everybody the same way. Also that sometimes the way you may intend things to come off may not be the way people are perceiving you. So that is another way you have to learn how to communicate things. So like you can communicate, yeah, I don't like this how you're doing this, but maybe the way you're communicating it is very awful. Maybe you're putting somebody down while you're doing it.
It's not how you say it's what you say.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Interesting.
And how you say, I feel like and
yeah, for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's both because yeah, you can't I could tell you, hey, can you please not have your foot in the chair? Or I can say, why do you have the foot in the chair? Like, what's wrong with you? Like,
I can understand that. Would you like for me to take my foot off the chair?
No, I was just. I
That's a very
appreciate
specific
you,
example right
but
there.
you feel me? Like that was just the example. But yeah, and me being able to communicate my needs in general, it was a point of time where I wasn't able to communicate directly what I needed because I was more focused on how it would make other people feel.
Mhm.
But like as I've gotten older, I've realized like that really doesn't help you in life. Like it's your life. Like you're better off expressing what you need or how you need it because you would thank yourself in the long run rather than being upset and being like, damn, I knew it. Don't be a damn I knew it ass person. That shit crazy.
That's
Yeah,
real.
just do it once you already know it.
Yeah, cause we be knowing shit. Now why we be mad, we be like, damn I knew. Don't be a damn I knew it ass person. I'm telling you.
You know how on the bucket list they got we be like gym drop, come over here like philosophy of chilling.
Oh, we
Yeah,
for
I heard
sure.
it.
Fast stuff. Like, and it's crazy because, like, in my perspective, like me, I was always an outspoken person. So I'm not, but I grew up with 6 siblings, like seven for real. But like,
Really?
yes, like you feel me?
Learn
So
something new every day.
you feel me? So I had a lot of folks in the house at once, and I was in the middle of that. So it's like I'm kind of like understanding both, and I didn't suffer from the middle child syndrome. Like, so it's like for me, I learned that being outspoken wasn't always the best way to be. You feel me? Because it's like I'm not gonna say I speak too much, but it's like sometimes it's like a lot of the thing I would hear the most was time and place. You feel me? Like, and I feel like one of the biggest things that like older people of our generation do, right? And like, don't be mad if older people listen to this shit, bro. I mean, no harm, bro. But like older people will say some shit vaguely as hell, and then just act like, oh, I just gave you the goddamn Dr. Seuss version of like what I'm telling you, man. Like time and place. You don't understand that? It's like you feel me? It's like no, I don't necessarily understand time and place. You feel me? Because it's like what they mean by time and place is subjective to their perspective of how they feel like you should behave when you're in a certain situation. You feel me? And that's subjective to all of us the older we get. But like in reality, that's still a good thing to learn. You feel me? I still did have to learn how to apply that. You feel me? But like there's way more to it too. Like not for real, but like communicating, like you were saying, like it's levels to communicating. You feel me? You can't communicate to everybody the same. You can't always give that energy to communicate it. You feel me? Like, but there's levels.
I agree. And I also think that goes back into how it is that you communicate your levels of support because that time and place phrase can definitely apply to people. Because people are sometimes meant for a season and sometimes meant for a lifetime. So sometimes they're meant for this time and place. And sometimes they're not meant for that other one. So you just once you give and speak what it is that you are needing and what it is that you're wanting to feel that form of support that you're desiring, and then they still aren't able to do that, then it's just not the time and place. And that's okay. And I think that really sums up and wraps up how it is that I communicate now versus then when I'm gonna be like, I'll remember that. And I'll still remember that, but it's like I'm not gonna remember it like I used to say I'm gonna remember that. It stay in my mind because I know that you did it or because the situation may have happened the way that it did or any version of how someone's version of support could have made me feel. But also, I wish you nothing but the best and hope that you're receiving the kind of support that you desire, even if it is not from me.
That's fair.
Time and place.
Never wish bad on
Yeah. Which leads me to my next question. Cause I guess this is gonna so let's just get into it because this is gonna take its own turn. Um so I guess we can talk about the patience aspect next because y'all obviously had to go through the growth and development to understand all of these different aspects that y'all are reiterating. So what was understanding the patience level like? Because there's a difference, especially when you're more when you're in a I don't want to say in a more immature state of understanding yourself versus in a more mature state of understanding yourself. How was that? How was it experiencing what level of patience you had to apply in order to get to where you wanted to be in order to communicate or to receive somebody's good support and being able to acknowledge whether it is good or bad for you. Does that make sense? I know that was
Are you
okay,
saying the
sure.
patience with other people or ourselves?
Both.
Jinx.
Okay.
On Sprite. You gotta buy me a soda.
Don't drink soda, kids.
Don't drink
Soda
soda.
kids. Don't, for real.
But yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anybody want to go
sure.
first? Or
You.
oh, that's intriguing. Um, I'm not sure. I just got acquainted with patience as of recently,
That's fair.
and I still struggle with patience sometimes.
That's fair.
I used to give other people more patience than myself. I've learned to give myself more patience than other people because I got to make sure I'm good. You know, that's that.
That's facts.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the only thing I can say because I feel like when you're younger, you don't. I feel like people say be patient, but you don't really get taught patience. Like, I don't feel like you really.
I'm over here, pow pow.
No, for real though.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I feel like you don't really get taught patience. Like, I know people probably said shit about yoga or meditating, but like, I wasn't getting taught that. Like, and we live in America, and this is Atlanta, so it was like everything is so fast paced. So it was like patience. It's like, what's that? I got to be here in the next couple minutes. Then I'm off here. Then I got to do that. Then we up tomorrow. We here. It's like, shit. I wish patience was taught. So yeah, I ain't really start learning that shit maybe until like college when I started getting more into like learning myself and like just learning psychology and shit. Just really getting more in tune with like who I am versus the outside world. So that's the best way I can explain it. Nowadays, I'm very patient with myself. Like I said, I still struggle with patience.
As far as like me and patience now versus patience younger, I'm very patient. I feel like compared to when I was younger, especially in the communication aspect. And like I think that was like, I'm being honest, like now, like I would feel like personally, I feel like I'm very impatient still. Like when it comes to communicating, like I feel like the shit gets annoying, and the only time I ever really care to communicate is if it's with somebody I fuck with. You feel me? Because it's like there's just that kind of like sense of respect there, like whatever y'all got laid down or whatever foundation. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna work through this communication, and I'm gonna try to give you grace, have that patience. But like when it comes to other folks in public and shit, to be honest, bro, like a lot of NPCs out here, dog. Like you gotta duck and move, hit them with the same lines they hit you with, interchange stuff as you go, and just keep it moving, man. Like I don't communicate with like I'm not going into detail with strangers, bro.
For sure. Yeah.
Like unless we like hop off on that cool vibe, you feel me?
For sure. For sure.
And I understand that.
I done met some cool ass strangers. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're okay. I was gonna say that because I was gonna say.
They're not strangers no more, but Darnell, you was a cool ass stranger.
Real shit.
No. I agree because I guess especially with what it is that I do as a career, I am talking to a lot of strangers.
Yeah.
And I am introverted, so I can be social. I can talk to anybody, but I'd be like, dang. And I've come as I've gotten older to find myself that what I've come to find within myself as I've gotten older that I talk about my experiences just because it's the only way I know how to relate to other people.
Mm.
And it's the only way I can, I guess, get them to understand what it is that I am saying. So I don't like to talk about. I got that in Mexico. I don't like to talk about what happened to me in my life or what I've gone through or experienced. But at the same time, I can't keep saying that because it's helped strangers, it's helped other people. And I think that that is how I've learned patience and how I keep learning patience. Because when people are talking to me, because having the spiritual gift of magnetism, people just like to come to me and tell me their life. Or just you start talking to me and they'll be learning things. And I'm like, interesting. Girl, then what happened? Okay. And then just giving my own experience and my thoughts. And it's like, thank you. That helped me a lot. Did it really? That was traumatic for me. But I am so glad that that helped you a lot, genuinely, because that teaches me patience. Like, now that I'm here telling you what happened, I didn't even realize all the patience that I sat through to now tell you what the fuck happened. You feel me? So it's like I'm saying my own, what is it, testimony or my experiences to you.
You still gotta run that back.
To you so that
Oh,
you
no, you didn't.
can understand.
Wait, what did you say?
He said I gotta run that back.
Nah, that ain't what you said.
I did, but it was for selfish reasons.
Oh, for sure.
I blew 8 O's in a row. I know y'all seen it.
Laugh my ass off. We'll zoom it in, possibly. Look closely when he does it and count to see if it is 3.
Ooh, I don't know if it was an 8, but okay.
Yeah.
They was clean. That's what matters. But we're listening.
Listening,
Mhm.
I
Captain
remember
Clark.
what I was saying.
You were saying how basically you are at the point where it's like I had it, then I lost it.
You don't explain yourself to people because
Yep, there it is.
Oh, yes. So that's how I learned patience through communicating my own experiences.
Yep, and
and
your testimony.
realizing that I had all that patience. And I
Mhm.
was given all that patience to now say what the fuck I did not have patience to go through when I did have the patience to go through it. And I guess that is how it is different for me now, 24, versus when I was in high school. Because he knocked out. Yeah, I had patience, but also I daydreamed a lot. So there was the patience. I was in my head. And as that went through, and I'm like, damn, I'm graduating high school, more daydreaming. Damn, I graduated college. And now here we are, still daydreaming, still having the patience, still expressing and talking to strangers and communicating and doing this shit called life.
shout out to the cool strangers in the world.
For real. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
Alright. So with that being said, I guess when I have guests, I'll do like a segment where you all ask me questions that you want my perspective on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want guidance, I can pose some topics of things of that sort just from extra questions that I had that we did not answer. But otherwise, the floor is you all.
I got one. You speak on
Respect.
it's nothing, but you speak on like patience, right? Or we speak on patience and communication, and like I've spoken with you a few times, like, but I'm not gonna sit up here and say I know enough of how you've grown to who you've become and whatnot, and the whatever you've been through to get to whatever you've been through. But when it comes to patience and communicating, when you have had moments where you've grown frustrated in your communicating and you have lost patience, what have been some of the, I guess, what did I use the other day? Like tactics that you used to essentially, or how did you, I guess it wouldn't even be tactics, but how have you grown and what can you take from those experiences, I guess, to say like you've grown to got you. Yeah, see, I can't even phrase this shit.
No, I get what you're asking.
You feel me? But like, yeah, get to the point you at now or whatever. Like to communicate and have the level of patience you have in similar situations.
That is a good question.
Or current frustrating situations.
I mean, that's a very good question. I guess it takes on different forms within periods of my life because I've always been slow to get upset, but the limit has changed each time I've developed, if that makes sense. Like, I had examples of what I did not want to be. So because of that, my first limitation was them. So like I had to get to a point where their movement didn't trigger me because I was in a state where it was like, go. So I didn't want to experience the effects of what it would mean if I pressed go and how it would change the people around me. So because of that, I had to get over that first limitation. And what I've realized is it really takes, like I told you before, like the tangible physical things I can describe, eye contact. If I can't lock eyes with the person I'm upset with and read where they're at, then I'm just on go and I'm just talking. And if somebody matches the talk, it just escalates from there depending on the individual. So it really takes like other people around me to help mitigate the situation when I was more younger because I couldn't control the burst of energy immediately in the heat of the moment. And like it's still a struggle because even like college, I've always had a season where I've lost like my temper or I've just been in a frustrated state because of the communication deficiencies between the individuals. But like I'm always aware of when I am getting upset. And that's the one thing that saves me because when I feel it, my immediate response is to leave. I'm like, yo, I got to go. Like, you are fucking me up to the point where if I stay, I know for a fact I will be destructive. That I'm not gonna hit a person, but I'm not finna hit no hole in the wall, bro. I gotta pay for that shit. Like, I got to leave, man. You gonna mess me up more than anything else just by me choosing to interact with you here. So I had to be able to literally put my mindset in the motion of turning. So like as I feel it going up, my body is already like, okay, where are the exits? Like I know I saw them before, but like where's the closest one now? And I'll prepare myself to turn and pivot. But if I can't leave, then I'm locking eyes with somebody because I need to know who can help de-escalate the situation. Because if it's not them and me looking at them is making me hotter, I need to look at somebody else so that we don't end up in the same situation that is going to make anything worse. So that is probably my go-to tactics. Well, three, because as I had to experience where my limitations were, it always revolves around like petty miscommunications or petty actions. And I'm like, okay, I can't, now I understand who I can be around. And that's what had helped me have kind of, not necessarily like standards, but like I had to learn how to vocalize what I do and do not like. like in my relationships, especially platonically, because it be the friends that be, bro, what the fuck type shit. You feel me? Like you thought you was too close. You know what I'm saying? But it's really like I tell all my friends, like, I don't care what it is, I'll be fully transparent with you always. Now, I might not tell you what you want to hear when you want to hear it. Or I might not say certain things to you just out of respect of somebody else. But I'm never gonna have you like assed out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna have your back. I just can't do lying. I hate when people lie to me because now I have to raise questions to my gut. Cause I feel stuff before it happens. So it's like, okay, I'm sensing something, and if I come to you about it, cause I'm very direct, I'll pull the whole group in. Like we'll all sit down together. Like, what? So and so said this. So and so said this. You're the main point between me and this. So like, where is it? Where is the misunderstanding?
Yes.
Because I mean, there's no point in doing everything else. Like, it's gonna create more problems anyway. So everyone just sit down, say what you have to say, and let's move on. Let's find a solution. You don't have to like me at the end. We can part our separate ways, but like, let's just have an understanding so we can move. So I think having that aspect has helped me the most deal with knowing when to handle those situations.
The frustrating ones, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's how you develop patience through your communication and through you just knowing your limits.
I
of
mean,
when you're gonna fuck something up.
active listening too,
I like
because
that's self-awareness.
well, yeah, pretty much. Because the only thing I forgot was active listening. Because what I've grown to be able to do is still be able to actually understand what somebody is saying, even if I'm upset. Because I can listen to you talk, and you talk, and figure out what you're actually asking or discuss or really wanting, and then be like, okay, let me address this here, and this here. And even when I'm upset, I still have my ears open, if that makes sense. So I'm still keen to like, okay, what is this situation causing? And sometimes that helps me too because it might be some scary folks around. I can't even hold you, bro. Like they'll just watch the situation, and I've been a person. The only time I watch a situation is if it's not really that extreme. Like if I don't have to intervene, I'm gonna let it play out because y'all saying what y'all saying. It ain't none of my business. I'm gonna let you say what you say, but I don't have to necessarily agree with you right now. That's just gonna add fuel to the fire. So I'll sit back and I'll watch it. But I won't never be on some. Oh, I'm watching you get beat up. Like what? No, what? It be some scary folks. So I'm just saying. I'm also listening for the people in the back, like especially movement and stuff going on. Because if it's happening and we're in the heat, because there's so much intensity right here, I know it's causing something else around us to be affected. So if I hear like there have been times where somebody just says some annoying ass shit, and I'll just be in public and I'll be like, "Fuck, bro, I can't believe you just said that." And then I'll hear a baby cry, and I'll be like, "You know what? Not today, not today. I can't even do it. That's wild." But and I just keep going.
Yeah. You gotta take what the universe gives you to. About that going to that shit.
What?
So, and last thing,
Okay.
I guess a lot of people don't know that you have a high interest in martial arts.
Oh yeah.
So you're always watching it all the time. It's all over your social medias. And we're currently watching an anime that I do not remember the name of that specializes in martial arts. So
Kodoku.
yeah, I think that's what it's called. Maybe possibly. But so with all of that being said, I guess it's interesting to me that I think you also learn a lot of your patience through the act of knowing when to control, you say, your limits, knowing when to control I guess I wouldn't say inner beast like in the show, but more so like people a lot of the times don't know how to control their inner demon, their shadow work. Maybe possibly, if that's the terminology that I'm trying to find. Pick up what I'm putting down. But yes, and I think that that is an interesting way to learn patience as well because knowing when to act and knowing when not to act, I think is the biggest differentiation between knowing if you still have a younger mindset when you're 24 or if sometimes people who are younger have more secure mindsets than people who are older than them. Because I really don't think age has any form of factor to do with how much wisdom you have acquired in your life. Um, it's some interesting people I've met, but I think that that's also a tie-in as well of a means of learning patience in life. Because yes, you could always slap somebody, and yes, people are always going to be annoying. And yes, people are just humans and are flawed. But knowing when to pick your battles, when to control your limits, and also the whole point of life is to not let anyone have any control over your emotions to bring out any form of reaction out of you. Even though that is such a hard thing to do, I understand. Because some people you just be like, but at the same time, I think everyone can relate to the aspect of knowing that you can do something, but not doing it anyway is a good means of patience as well.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Bigger skill that is.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
think about doing stuff all the time. GTA style.
Oh my god. Please.
Gotta control those impulses,
Got,
folks.
got to.
So definitely gotta do that. So yeah. With that being said, were you asking me a question before I close out, or was
Mm-mm.
it just a statement?
It was both an answer and the question. I answered the
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
I won't provide no feedback on that. I think you
Okay.
ended it well. Yeah. So with that being said, we just chilling. So we'll see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm Don't Let the Connect.
I'm Catherine Clark.
your boy Petro.
Hello.
And we'll
Dolo
see
now.
y'all. Peace.
Introduction.